Today, we're diving into something pretty cool happening in the crypto space. We're going to break down how three major projects, Cardano, Midnight, and Starstream, are actually teaming up to build what could be the next generation of blockchain tech. So let's kick things off with a problem that I think we can all get our heads around. Midnight CTO Sebastian Gillamont puts it perfectly here. Think about it. On most blockchains today, every single thing you do is out there for the world to see. It's basically like your entire bank statement is just public. Anyone can look at it. And that massive lack of privacy, well, that's one of the two huge challenges this whole new ecosystem is built to fix.
Okay, so probably the easiest way to picture how all these pieces fit together is to think of them as a team building a new kind of high-tech car. Each part has a really specific, super important job.
All right, first up, you've got Cardano. Think of Cardano as the engine. It's not just any engine either. It's this powerful, super secure, battle-tested engine that's been running for years. It's the absolute bedrock, the foundation that provides all the horsepower and security for everything else we're going to bolt on top of it. Then you've got Midnight. This is like building a brand new passenger cabin on top of that engine. But this isn't just any cabin. It's a totally private one. Its entire job is to protect your data. You know, what happens in the cabin stays in the cabin. And wrapping up our high-tech car, we have Starstream. This is like the cutting-edge, smart, onboard computer. It's what lets the vehicle pull off these incredibly complex moves. Think a flawless parallel park in one smooth motion, all from a single command. Okay, let's really get into the details of how this all works. So, let's start with Midnight, that private cabin we were talking about. Its whole mission is to tackle the privacy issue head-on. It's basically flipping the entire public by default model completely upside down. So Midnight is built around this really cool idea called selective disclosure. What does that mean? Well, it means your data is private from the get-go, by default. But, and this is the key part, you get to decide who sees your info and when. You're in control. And what's so brilliant about this is how they've made this kind of powerful privacy super easy for anyone to actually use. Okay, think about paying for gas fees on other blockchains. You usually have to spend a little piece of your main investment, right? Like your ADA or your ETH. Well, Midnight completely changes that. It's a total game changer. Instead, you hold their main token, which is called Night, and just by holding it, it generates this other token called Dust, and that's what you use to pay for your transaction fees. So you can actually use the network without selling off your main investment. And the really smart part? This Dust token decays over time, so it can't be hoarded or become a speculative asset. It's purely for using the network. And that's not all. Midnight knocks down another huge barrier for people new to crypto. It's called account abstraction. Now that sounds complicated, but it's actually super simple. It means you don't have to go out and get a brand new special Midnight wallet. Nope, you can just use the wallet you already know and love, like your MetaMask or whatever else. This is a massive deal for adoption. It makes trying out Midnight dApps incredibly simple. All right, now let's shift gears and talk about that second big problem we mentioned. How to make really complex stuff on Cardano feel simple and seamless. This is where we get to install that smart computer, Starstream. So here's the deal on Cardano right now. If you want to do a few things in a row, like, say, swap one token for another, and then immediately use that new token in a DeFi protocol, you have to do it in separate, clunky steps. You send one transaction, wait for it to confirm, then send the next one, and wait again. It's slow, it's awkward, and honestly, it's just not a great user experience. This whole process is called transaction chaining, and it basically forces you to wait around between each step. And it's not just annoying for us as users. It's a massive headache for developers. They have to build all these complicated, clunky workarounds just to make things work. It's a real bottleneck. And this is where Starstream just completely changes the game. It's not some band-aid fix or workaround. No, this is a deep, fundamental upgrade right to Cardano's core. What it does is it lets you take all those separate steps and compress them into one single, perfect atomic transaction. One click, one transaction, and boom. It all happens instantly and flawlessly. Okay, so we've got Midnight for privacy and we've got Starstream for power. At first glance, they look like two totally different things, solving two totally different problems, right? Well, this is where the story gets really, really cool. It turns out they're both connected by the same shared piece of technology under the hood. That shared technology is zero-knowledge cryptography, or ZK for short. And ZK tech is like a Swiss Army knife. It has these two amazing powers. First, it can prove something is true without actually revealing the secret data behind it. That's obviously perfect for privacy, which is what Midnight uses it for. But second, it can also take a whole bunch of complex actions and compress them down into one tiny, efficient proof. And that's perfect for what Starstream is doing. It's the same core tech used in two brilliant ways. So instead of having two different teams build two separate ZK systems from scratch, which would be a ton of work, they joined forces. They built one shared custom ZK engine called Nightstream. And this is genius. Midnight uses the account-based version of it, which is going to feel really familiar to anyone who's built on Ethereum. Meanwhile, Starstream uses the UTXO-based version, which is designed to plug right into Cardano's native system. It's like the perfect puzzle piece to upgrade Cardano without having to rebuild the whole thing. So we've talked a lot of tech here, but what does all this actually mean for you? For the average user, for developers, for the whole network? Well, the practical benefits here are huge, and they spread across the entire ecosystem. Okay, so who wins here? Well, pretty much everyone. If you're already a Cardano user, your DeFi experience is about to get a massive upgrade. No more of those clunky workarounds we talked about. If you're new to crypto, Midnight is rolling out the red carpet for you. The Dust token, the account abstraction, it just makes getting started so much easier. And for the folks who run the network, the Cardano stake pool operators, they get a whole new way to earn rewards by helping to secure the Midnight network, which in turn strengthens Cardano. It's a win-win-win. So the big takeaway here is this. Midnight and Starstream aren't separate projects fighting for the same space. They're partners. They're working together using this incredible shared technology to bring two things the ecosystem desperately needs: real privacy and serious power. This isn't just about fixing old problems. It's about opening the door to things that just weren't possible before, which leaves us all with a pretty exciting question to think about. When you combine this level of privacy with this kind of power, what kind of brand new applications are we going to see built next?